For the first time ever, Bitcoin smashed through $100,000 just a few weeks ago. This milestone here doesn't just validate this bull run, but it proves we're entering an entirely new era for crypto. And the most exciting part is, I think the best is still yet to come.
Around the crypto space, around Bitcoin.
Bitcoin has climbed above $100,000.
Bitcoin has passed the $100,000 mark.
See whether it gets to 100,000, and there seem to be a lot of reasons to be optimistic.
When Bitcoin breaks new all-time highs, it's like a signal flare for one thing: altcoin season. In past cycles, we've seen everyday investors turn small bets into life-changing wealth, and this is the power of a bull run. When the floodgates open, your chance to build generational wealth grows exponentially. Now, I don't use the term generational wealth lightly. Just last week, one member inside Kaizen turned a $50,000 investment into over $1.6 million by acting on a high-conviction pick that we talked about here right on the channel. Not just once, by the way, folks. We talked about it on 2 separate occasions. Now, here is what I'm even more excited about. With President Trump's return to office just a few weeks away, Gary Gensler out as SEC chair, we have pro-crypto regulation on the horizon and also more institutional money flooding into crypto like never before. We are right now standing at the edge of something entirely new. Now, it's not just Bitcoin leading the charge. We have emerging trends like AI, the base narrative, different meme coins within the super cycle that are all making this bull run unlike anything we have seen before. So in this video, we're going to be going over, number 1, exactly where we are in the current altcoin season and how you can position yourself to make the most amount of money. Number 2, we're then going to be going over my favorite crypto narratives. These are the narratives that are going to give you the best advantage of making money in the market so that you don't get the rug pulled right from under you. After that, I'm going to be going over within those narratives what my favorite crypto picks are. I'll start from the least risky picks to the most risky, which comes with it the highest upside. Finally, I'll then go over some new projects and narratives that I'm looking forward to. This year is important because there's a lot of things cooking up, but one way to make money in the market and improve your edge is to make sure that you're always ahead of the next new trend. So to kick this video off, where are we in the current altcoin season cycle? How do you position yourself? Well, first, everything starts with Bitcoin. At the time of me filming this video, Bitcoin broke over $100,000 once more. Now, this wasn't a smooth $100,000, by the way, folks. This was rocky. This was emotional, all right? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't bipolar going through the ups and downs of what we encountered this past week. Bitcoin currently is sitting at over $2 trillion in market cap, but every time Bitcoin got close to $100,000, the cabal, all right, the group of billionaires who manipulate the market, it seems that they would just dump it. But what was interesting is that the first few times that they dumped Bitcoin, everyone just bought more Bitcoin. They would just bring the price right back up. Now, by the way, guys, the cabal isn't just a thing within crypto. The cabal exists within all different equities market. The thing is, the cabal within the stock market is known to be hedge funds. It's inside traders. It's other giant billionaires who are able to manipulate the market, such as people on Wall Street, or just big venture capitalist firms or private equity that also invest in the market and know how to manipulate it by buying in, driving the price up, and then selling, causing a massive cascade effect. Now, what's different about crypto is that normally within this market, we have a lot of traders who use something called leverage. Most of you should already know what leverage is, but for the few of you who don't, it's as simple as this. When using leverage, you're essentially using borrowed money to trade. So if I'm using 10x leverage, it means I can control a position 10 times the initial size. So if I had only $1,000 in my account, if I were to take up a 10x leverage position, that means I could take a $10,000 position. So if the price of an asset goes up, I get 10x the value. But if it happens to go down, I will either get liquidated or lose 10x too. So what happened was when Bitcoin had a pretty solid ride up, it actually went down, it flash crashed, and this time a lot of altcoins ended up getting liquidated. Now, when I say a lot of altcoins, I mean a lot of altcoins. We had $1.6 billion of liquidations happen just a few days ago, and this was actually one of the biggest liquidation events since 2021. Now, most of you guys know my story. I turned a $3,000 portfolio just a few months ago on Blowfin, and I brought it as high as $600,000. And it was during this dip where I did not exercise proper risk management, and I saw it go down as little as $80,000 $50,000 in a single day. The big takeaway from all of this is that liquidations are generally good within the market because you want more spot. You want more unleveraged positions coming into crypto rather than leveraged longs. This is because leveraged longs are not players who are normally going to hold for months upon months, but instead they're traders just looking to take from the market. Liquidation events like we experienced just recently allow the market to have a good, healthy correction and wipe out that greed. In the case that we didn't get a correction, we would have just had more leveraged long positions completely piling and piling and piling. And that oftentimes signals that we are actually at the top of the market. All right, so since then, Bitcoin has recovered pretty nicely. We need Bitcoin to hold its price. It doesn't even need to go up 20% every week. It just needs to hold a certain range, which is about $95,000 or more. If it does that, what we then see is altcoins having the confidence to start going up in price. On a day of when I'm filming this video, Bitcoin just recovered. All these alts are following alongside it very nicely. So when Bitcoin holds, what normally happens is we get the path to altcoin season. Generally in an altcoin season cycle, we'd see money going from Bitcoin right into Ethereum, then flowing down into large caps, and then we have a huge altcoin season where all these other alts are just pumping. This time around, Ethereum is going up in price. We've seen now all the high caps go up too, but I think it's important to note that right now within this season, we haven't really gone into a full-blown, completely vertical altcoin season cycle. I think we've actually been around the phase 3 cycle, and we are just right around the corner of seeing phase 4 happen. At the time of filming this video, we have more greed in the market, but this isn't the same type of greed that I felt back in 2021, meaning I think there's still more room to go. So how can you best position yourself? Well, at the end of the day, the best way for you to increase your odds of winning and to also protect yourself is to always look at your own risk to reward ratio. Look, as an example, if Bitcoin decided it wanted to take a little nap, okay, go to sleep and drop down to $88,000, we could see altcoins draw down further. Say it drops 30, 40, maybe even 50% or more. If that happens to be the case, because you never know what happens with Bitcoin, things could always go down in the market. You'd want to make sure that if you're going to risk that kind of drawdown, that you're able to at least make 200, 300%, or 500% or more within the market. For me, on the minimum, I need opportunities that present a 3-in-1 risk to reward ratio. This means for every $1 that I'm willing to risk, that I aim to make at least $3 in potential profit. This ratio here also ensures that my potential upside significantly outweighs my downside. To make it a bit more easier to understand, think about it in the context of a real trade. All right, so say as an example, I decide to buy Bitcoin at $100,000 and I set a stop loss, which means if Bitcoin comes down to $95,000, then it'll sell. So at this point, I am risking $5,000 in Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin does what I expect it to do, it follows my plan, and I aim to sell Bitcoin at $120,000, and my reward would be $20,000 for this trade. So the ratio calculation here is that I have a reward of $20,000 if it follows along my prediction, and I'm just risking here $5,000 if Bitcoin goes from $100,000 to $95,000. If you just divide the reward to risk, that is your ratio. In this instance, it would be even better than 3-to-1. It would be 4-to-1. And essentially, I am risking $5,000 to make over $20,000 on this trade. Now, your ratio could be completely up to you, but when you're investing in crypto, I always recommend a 3-to-1 ratio at the minimum. This means even if only 50% of your trades are successful, the 3-in-1 ratio ensures that your winners always outweigh your losers. So say out of 10 trades, you win 5, you lose 5, all right? Those winning trades are still going to make up for your biggest losers. A lot of times in crypto, we get into the space wanting to be perfect. You never want to have a losing trade. You never want to think that you're not going to buy into something that rug pulls or something that a developer does that is outside of your control. But if at the end of the day, your biggest winners make up for your losers, you can be significantly in the money by having that solid, good risk to reward ratio. Now, you can also set up good risk to reward ratio plays, not just within certain trades, but you can do it throughout the market. The way you can improve this is by following this method. Number one, I like looking at low market cap coins. Generally, these have a lot more risk, okay? So I don't go too heavy in these, but when they are smaller market caps compared to things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even now XRP, you need less capital inflow to experience massive price increases. So as an example, if a new altcoin with a market cap of $10 million doubles, all it needs is $10 million for it to get to $20 million, and you just hit a 2x. If we wanted to see Bitcoin 2x from here, that means Bitcoin is going to have to be a lot higher, maybe closer to $4 trillion in market cap, meaning you're going to need a lot more money for it to make that move. Within a bull run, it is common though for altcoins to experience 10x to even 100x gains. This is especially true if the altcoin captures a popular narrative or the use case on it is very strong. So for me personally, the way I've been able to find some of these crazy hitters is that I mix a blend of my research between narrative trading, where I know that certain cryptos have not yet picked up, and this is where the flow of money could rotate into, and I combine that with other things like TA. Where are we within the market? How is the market cap itself? Where is the team at? And then I combine other strategies such as technical analysis, on-chain analysis, and more. I save that within Kaizen. So folks, with all of that said, well, what is the next new narrative? What is the best way for you to increase that risk to reward? So I have 5 solid narratives. These are narratives that I think are still cooking up, that are still going to be relevant for months to come, and things that you can still capitalize on. I'll start with less risk, less reward. And as we go on throughout the list, I'll then go over some of the more higher risk, high reward, and then talk about some of the narratives that aren't in yet that I think will come around. So number one is Coinbase listed coins. Coinbase over the last few months has been listing several projects, and anytime they list a project, we usually see a pump anywhere from 20 to even over 100% in gains in a single day. A few days ago, we had GigaChad that actually got listed by Coinbase. Taking a look at the graph, you'll notice just a massive spike here when that announcement was made. Peanut, another meme coin, it surged over 20% in a day following Coinbase listing plans. Folks, we even had Mudang. This is that elephant in Thailand or Vietnam, I believe. And man, this thing also had a massive pump when it turned out they were going to be listing it on Coinbase and you could trade it there. So the whole idea here is that you're going to want to buy into a project before it actually gets listed on Coinbase. This is because when the listing does happen, people get excited and the price just ends up surging. Now keep in mind, in early 2024, Coinbase was very strict on listings. In March 22nd of 2023, Coinbase as a company received a Wells notice from the U.S. SEC. The SEC basically had told them that they're going to be in trouble for a violation of federal security laws, and Coinbase's giant legal team made sure that they were to tread the waters carefully. All right, so what you want to do here is basically just buy a token before Coinbase lists it. It's a narrative here, it's a viable play, it's a strategy that I've seen investors do and still make millions from. The hard part is trying to figure out what they're going to list next. Number one, Coinbase does not want to break securities laws, and even though Gary Gensler is out of the SEC, they still don't want to list rug pulls and bad projects to protect the exchange's reputation. So Coinbase is still pretty selective on listings, but it is in their best interest to list because of these two main reasons. Number one, anytime Coinbase adds a new coin, it gets trading volume. This helps Coinbase make money, and Coinbase is a publicly traded company, and it is in their best interest as a business to generate profit for shareholders. Number two, Coinbase gets more users coming to the platform. If people are getting into crypto, hear about crypto because of some big meme coin, Coinbase is obviously going to want to have that traded on their exchange to be able to attract more members coming onto that platform. To increase revenue for a company, it's as simple as increasing the value of what you can extract from a customer, or you just get more customers in. With that said, in order to find the next Coinbase listed project and to build off of this narrative, you want to be looking out for these few patterns. Number one, market cap. Coinbase is rarely ever going to list a project that is under 100 mil in market cap. You can find market cap near any project. If you ever look it up on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, Dex Screener, it's always here. Coinbase also tends to list projects that have a decent amount of trading volume. Just because a project is $100 million in market cap, it doesn't mean they're going to list it if there isn't that much volume behind it. Other factors to look out for is whether or not a project was able to survive big market shakeouts. What this means is there are some meme coins and other projects where a lot of people just end up selling, or you have external factors like Bitcoin going down or war looming, and the project just doesn't do well. Were they able to survive that shakeout? If so, how long did it take for them to recover? Oftentimes, you don't think Coinbase would look at that, but it seems like they do. If a project was not able to recover fast and go higher than it was before, Coinbase may not have that interest in listing it. Two more factors is whether or not there is a good holder distribution. Token distribution is pretty much a pie chart of seeing who holds the biggest amounts for that project. If you see a bad token distribution, meaning one person owns like 10% of the entire token supply, that's bad. If that person decides they're going to sell, they're going to tank the price of that token, and Coinbase is more than likely not going to list it. The next thing in finding Coinbase listed projects is seeing if there's good continued demand. Out of all that, guys, we've talked about Popcat. I still think it's a matter of time before Coinbase decides to list it at some point. It's at over $1 billion in market cap. Volume has been relatively strong, and it's been able to hold this support level at around $1.10 to $1.20. Now, I'm sure most of you guys heard about Chill Guy. The initial artist who had made this came out and he was throwing some FUD. He was unhappy about what people were doing on crypto and taking this, and I don't know, I thought that whole story was a little crazy there. But since that happened, Chill Guy has not been doing well. It's at about $371 million market cap, but this was also another project where it had strong potential for Coinbase to list it if it kept its momentum going. Out of all these projects though, the one that I think has the most amount of potential and still the one that checks every single box as one of my most high conviction plays this cycle is Ski Mask Dog. This is because Coinbase recently added WIF. All right, they listed this one, very similar. It's just a dog meme coin, but not only that, we had things like Shiba Inu, which is currently sitting at $17 billion in market cap. Floki, obviously Doge, most of you guys know about that. I think Coinbase, out of all the different memes that they have listed, there is a higher tendency for this list to be filled with dog coins. The big dog coin of this cycle is Ski Dog. What's really been interesting about this crypto is even after the massive pump that it's had, it's been able to hold over the last month these levels relatively strong. We have not seen Ski Dog go down under 20 cents. The volume has been fantastic, and I think there is still immense room for it to grow. Now, this segues pretty well into the second narrative, which is the base narrative. Look, if you've been following along on my channel, you'll know how bullish I've been surrounding the entire base narrative. Well, in most recent weeks, users on Base has actually deposited over $4 billion into applications. This figure was just $300 million at the beginning of the year. Taking a look at your screen here, you can also see just the extraordinary amount of volume going into Base compared to all these other layer 2s. Even looking at the TVL here, taking a look at the number of daily transactions, you can see Base is up significantly, leading the pack on this. If you compare the charts on the 90 days, the 180 days, or even the last 1 year, you can see the extraordinary amount of volume going into the Base layer 2 network. If you want to get exposure into Base, you obviously have Aerodrome, which is the leading decentralized exchange. So similar to if you're trying to buy any random crypto using something like Uniswap, you can use Aerodrome to swap your Ethereum or your USDC into other Base projects. Now, we've been talking about Aerodrome for a very long time. They're still sitting at $1.57 billion in market cap. They are printing a ton of money just from all the transaction fees that are going on. And just taking a look at the screen, they are currently just retesting previous all-time highs from the last leg up. Now, at this point with Aerodrome, I've pretty much taken all my profits out from here, and I've actually been rotating it into other plays that I've mentioned. Now, I'm still bullish on Aerodrome. I still think that they could possibly break $5 this cycle, but at the moment, I am looking at other lower market cap rotational plays. With that said, for me personally, Ski Mask Dog, which is what I think is going to be the #1 meme coin on Base, is still my go-to pick. Whether you want to compare the market cap of Ski Mask Dog to WIF, or in this instance, a better one would even be Brett. Brett is another Base meme coin. They've been ripping since the start of this year. Even at this point, they've made a good bit of gains, but they are topping the point where they're worth over $1.84 billion. I can't see much more upside with this, and I expect a lot of people who've been holding Brett to actually funnel into something like Ski. Now, if Ski gets anywhere close to where Brett is, that is a 6x return from at the time of filming this video. This means if you put $1,000 in, $6,000. If you put in $10,000, $60,000. The potential is there. Now, another project here on the Base network, something that I think is a bit more on the safer, conservative side is Virtuals Protocol. Now, I talked about I want to find lower market cap plays. This one is an exception. Virtuals Protocol is sitting close to $2 billion in market cap, and they had a massive run up. They went up over 400% since the start of November. Now, we talked about Virtuals Protocol way early on, back in March. If you go ahead and watch some of our older videos, we talked about them before they even hit 10 cents. Now, I sold a while ago. I wish I kept the moon bag because this thing went parabolic. It's up 3,800% in the last 1 year. But as high as this project already is, I think there is more room to grow. And that's because AI agents themselves, they're just popping. ChatGPT and all these real AI tools that we are integrating into our workflow are getting better and better. And Virtual Protocol, okay, this is where you can create your own AI agent, which has been one of the leading narratives within crypto over the past month. Now, if you don't know what AI agents are, I think this graphic here explains it so well. Think about an invisible computer assistant that lives in your laptop or your phone, and they're working behind the scenes to make your life easier. AI agents are useful because it can help you save time, it can make life easier, and they're always on, ready 24/7 with whatever you need. Within this, there are many different key components. Some are AI agents where they focus on processing requests. They think, they make decisions. Others are tools, so they interact with other apps. They perform different tasks. Some of them have really good memory, so they store important info temporarily so that they can use it while working on your tasks. I like this line here. AI agents are like having a super smart computer friend who knows how to use all your apps, tools, and do all things for you. Fast, smart, and it's always on. The reason why this all ties in with Virtuals Protocol is because, first of all, Luna right here was one of the first AI agents to break through into the crypto space. If I click on Luna here, she doesn't have huge use case, but I know the team's been working on getting her to be more sophisticated. And right now she can actually interact with others. She can do Google Meet calls. So you can do a full-on podcast episode. You could ask her questions. But what I'm even most bullish on within Virtuals Protocol has been AI XBT. Now, back when I first invested into this, I thought it was the most skeptical thing ever because first, I wasn't sure if it was really an AI agent or if it was someone who was just tweeting all the time. But this here is an agent where on crypto Twitter, you can pretty much tag it in a tweet, ask it any question, and it's going to respond to you with the knowledge it has within the crypto space. Now, first of all, this project is got some alpha, okay? If AI XBT ever started its own YouTube channel, I'd probably be going homeless out here. I think it would do a better job than what I'm doing. That's because it is so sharp, it's sophisticated, and it's been making some really good plays as I've been following along. Now, I bought into AI XBT when it was at a fraction of this market cap. It is high still right now, $246 million. But as it continues to learn, continues to get smarter, and continues to provide more value, I believe this project still has a lot more potential to go. You combine that with the fact that if you want to use AI XBT as your own terminal, you have to hold a certain amount of this token. I still think we're at the beginning of all this amazing stuff. And within Virtuals Protocol, you have Game, Vader. I mean, several of these projects where we talked about in last video, and they all went up tremendously. Now, here's the thing. The reason why Virtuals Protocol is still a viable play for this year is because if any one of these AI agents continue to pop off and do well, Virtuals goes up in price. This is because within this ecosystem, yes, you can use ETH, but generally most people are going to have to use Virtuals. So they're going to have to buy Virtuals off Aerodrome and then use it to buy an AI agent. Now you can see how this base ecosystem is starting to work. But at the end of the day, what matters the most within Base for it to be successful and compete with all these other layer 2s is that it needs to have a good product. I personally believe that Virtuals came in and it actually saved the Base ecosystem because this is one of the best AI platforms right now to exist. I've tested out many different ones, different derivatives, some on Solana, some on different chains, and by far Virtuals is hands down the best. Now, if all of those are still relatively high market cap for you, there is a ton of different AI agent coins that you can get exposure to. FET is more of an infrastructure play. It's at an even higher market cap than this. PAL is another infrastructure play. I mean, personally for me, I think there's way too many. I even had a little bag in SPEC, but I am ignoring everything and I'm focusing on just the AI agent product. I like AI XBT, and one that I really did like too, and I still have a position in, is Simi. Simi is currently at just $28 million in market cap. This here is another AI agent agent. It's able to tweet, it's able to have its own opinions. And if this were to retest previous all-time highs, that's about just a little under 2x from here. But it doesn't mean that this and all these other AI agents don't have any more room to go. Now, on the topic of that, AI agents are good, base is good. Where I think we're still going to see a massive rotation of money is going to be in meme coins. Now, look, here's the truth about meme coins. I'm not out here strapped to my computer 18 hours a day just sniping up tokens that are released on pump.fun. I don't think most of you guys should be doing that either. Unless you have experience, you have bots, you have tools, and you have experience in the market. The way I like getting exposure into meme coins is by just following the right narrative, looking at other chains that haven't gotten a huge flow of money in yet, and placing my bets early. This is because if you decide to try and snipe meme coins on pump.fun or whatever, you're gonna usually end up getting wrecked by someone who's been more experienced, has a larger bag size, and knows what they're doing. I also like to look for meme coins that have something new to the space, right? I always need to have some kind of high conviction thesis behind it. For me, Ski just made the most amount of sense. The next dog with hat, the next potential Shiba Inu, the biggest meme coin on base, something that was community owned. The supply wasn't manipulated or controlled by a central entity or project developers, and something that just felt more fair. Now, we also had different projects like Degen, if you guys remember, which was initially a meme coin, but behind the scenes, this project here actually had utility, and it allowed for people to use this as a way to get exposure into a ecosystem called Farcaster, which is really like a decentralized version of crypto Twitter. It was its own app. It was a lot of fun. I mean, even through that, there were many different projects under that umbrella. Now, here's the thing about meme coins. If you are a bit more risk adverse, you could simply just play Dogecoin. If at any time Dogecoin goes under 40 cents, because we know Elon Musk named the whole Department of Government Efficiency, we're going to be constantly seeing it within the news and any big changes that they make. And I know this upcoming year, 2025, they're going to have some big wins. This is all just going to cycle and be free marketing for Dogecoin itself. Now, Dogecoin, $61 billion in market cap. It is ranked number 7 out of all cryptocurrencies. This is one project where it seems like you're not going to have that much more upside, but if you don't like the risk, this could be a possible play here. Now, on the topic of meme coins, this is definitely a good place for me to enter this. 2 things. Number 1, guys, if you're investing, especially you're buying meme coins, please do not put more money than you can afford to lose. Cryptocurrency in itself is extremely high risk. I've been doing this for many years. I've lost a lot of money at some points, and even for me, some days are very hard. Now, with that said, yes, you can make life-changing money, but I think it's most responsible for me to always tell you guys this disclaimer, and that's to make sure that you only invest what you're willing to lose. Just assume that crypto is going to go down to 0. When the bear market comes around, I even think something like Dogecoin is going to fall tremendously, but it is in between this time while we are in the middle of this bull run that you could still capitalize it. And if you can manage your own greed, you can make life-changing wealth. Out of all the businesses I've been a part of and different things that I've started, I've met more people who have made millions of dollars and made 9 figures coming from crypto than anything else. With that said, if you're looking to buy Dogecoin and look for some of these other plays that we have mentioned, you should definitely check out Coinbase. If you guys want to check out Coinbase, I have a link for you down below in the description. By using my link, you guys get a special welcome bonus there. And if they don't have certain altcoins listed on there, you then can use the Coinbase wallet, which is connected with the Coinbase exchange. And that's actually how I've been processing about 99% of my trades. Now, the most important thing when it comes to meme coins is that you need to have a strong community. Look, think about why XRP has pumped so much as it did. Yes, there was a little bit of manipulation. Whales are trying to bring it up, but there was also the fact that XRP had one of the best communities within crypto. People who bought XRP, they love XRP. I mean, they're going crazy on the YouTube channel, on different accounts. The XRP army, I'm not in it. I'll tell you that. I'm not in it, but I've heard about how strong it was. And I believe that's one of the main reasons that we saw this crypto pump as hard as it did. So when it comes to the success of other meme coins, look for something similar. Look for altcoins that have good community, that are fair launch, that are doing something special, and that you genuinely see the conviction in. The next narrative to be on the lookout for, NFTs. Look, NFTs, I believe, are going to be a massive part of this cycle. I was a heavy participant in 2021 and I got into NFTs. If any of you guys remember Top Shots, I got into Bored Apes, Moonbirds. At one point, my NFT portfolio was even higher than my own crypto portfolio. Look, I'm seeing the exact playbook of what happened in 2021 right out right now. Generally, what happens is a lot of people are going to make money in crypto. They're going to want to keep it on chain and they're going to look for the next attractive thing to buy. At one point, it was digital real estate. Before that, though, it was NFTs. Now, the question is, what is the best NFT to buy? Personally, for me, I am most bullish right now on Pudgy Penguins. Look, I have 2 Bored Apes. I got multiple mutant apes, but I can tell you with Yuga Labs, I've never been more disappointed in a project. I actually plan to sell my apes in this cycle and just be fully all in with Pudgy Penguins. This is because with Yuga Labs, I've ordered their merch. It felt like sandpaper. I was testing out. I was trying to go to the Ape Fest in New York City NFT a few years ago. That concert wasn't that great. And it seemed like they just dropped the ball on what could have been one of the best NFT projects of the year. Now, since they dropped the ball, Pudgy Penguins has been building and they've been doing a fantastic job. They've been dominating their reach in Asia. A lot of kids know what Pudgy Penguins are because they also dominate retail sales within Target, Walmart. The team is just absolutely fantastic. Their ability to market and have a reach farther than what I ever expected is a big deal. And more than that, guys, this is a team that I just fully believe in. Now, here's the thing. NFTs are expensive. Not a lot of people are going to be able to drop over $100,000 just to buy an image off the internet. So here's a few ways that you could get exposure if you were interested. Pudgy Penguin sells Pudgy rods. I mean, this thing has gone up from less than 1 ETH to currently about 2 ETH. So it's done a 2x. They have Lil Pudgies. When I first spotted this, it was at under an ETH. Okay. I didn't think it would even move up as much as it did. It's currently sitting at 3.18 ETH. I think for everyone who looks at Pudgy Penguins and realize, all right, I ain't buying this, they're going to look at its beta, its Lil Pudgies. This is going to be more attractive. This is currently sitting at $271 million in market cap. And at the time of filming this video, I don't know if it's going to happen yet, but Pudgy Penguins is also dropping something called the Pengu tokens. So pretty much they're airdropping a bunch of this token. We know that the last massive airdrop was coming from a project called Hyperliquid. Man, this thing is still at $16.54. It is at a $5.4 billion market cap. And in the last 1 month, I mean, they're up a significant amount. They came out at under $4. It's at $16 today. It was a minimum 3x from the time if you had bought in from launch. I think Pudgy Penguins can do some crazy numbers. If I were to compare them to anyone, I'd compare them to Altcoin. So this is when Yuga Labs decided to drop their own token. And at this point, we saw a massive hype back then, and it even reaching at a peak of $6.8 billion in market cap. Now, they ended up tossing the ball. It actually went down quite a bit since then, but over the last month, it's been going back up in price and still holding about $1 billion in market cap. Look, I'm just going to say it here. I'm betting that Pudgy Penguins is going to be the NFT project of this year. When the Pengu tokens drop, I am bullish on this. I think there is some upside, but obviously make sure you guys build your own conviction, do your own research. But if you are interested in getting Pengu tokens, I know that they're also going to be available on Moonshot when it drops. Moonshot, by the way, is pretty much like the Robinhood of meme coins. You can buy any Solana meme coin on there. It's very easy. You could even use Apple Pay. And when Pengu does come out, I am expecting for this project to do pretty well over the long term. We're going to have to see. I'll come out with another update, see how it rolls, but I'm feeling rather bullish on this one. Either way, guys, I ended up buying a few penguins the other day. I would not be surprised if Pudgy Penguins itself, it hits over 100 ETH floor. I know it sounds crazy right now, but even at the peak of where CryptoPunks was during its lifetime, it was at over 119 ETH. That was its peak. There was even one point back in 2021, and I know this because I was the one who bought right at the top of Mount Everest right here. The minimum price of buying one Bored Ape monkey, all right, it was about $250,000. Look, I know a lot of people are feeling still rather skeptical about the NFT market, but I'm telling you, I could see it picking up. I really can. I think people are going to FOMO into it. They're going to look for different characteristics, traits, and NFTs are more addicting than any kind of crypto because you start to tie your profile pic, your identity into these things, and it makes something where it's already hard selling in crypto even that much harder. With all that said, guys, these are some of the narratives that I think are still going to cook up over the next few weeks, but there are some new narratives that you could also be on the lookout for. One narrative this cycle that is going to pop up is going to be the Solana killer narrative. Solana is great, right? It works. This is where most people in crypto go to if they're trying to buy meme coins, if they're trying to buy other NFTs. But I believe there's a lot of different layer ones that are going to try and compete with this. If there was one layer one that I would personally put my bet on, it would be Sui. This is because Sui is one of those rare projects. They are ex-Facebook, ex-Google, ex-Apple, great solid team. And what's most interesting is that they're utilizing the same technology that was developed for Facebook's Libra, which was the Facebook cryptocurrency project that a lot of people forgot about. Look, this is a sleeper. Not many people know about it, but what ended up happening was that this project got abandoned and Sui is using the foundation of what Libra or Facebook's cryptocurrency was going to be. Now, look, I'm not getting paid by Sui. Actually, no project has paid me for any placement with this video here today. All I'm saying is I think Sui has a great chance of being able to make strides this bull run. On a day like this, they actually ripped completely out of the hole and they had gone up over 23% towards a new all-time high. Now, they got a high market cap here, right? The upside, it may not be crazy compared to some of the other lower meme coins that we've seen. But this just means that within Sui's network, you can start looking. You can start looking for other meme coins because I do think when there is a rotation of money and more investors realize, oh, this is a viable chain, it is just as fast, if not faster than Solana and more secure, we could definitely see more people this upcoming cycle trying to chase that next upcoming Solana. All right, next narrative to be on the lookout for. I have not done my full research on this. There's just too much about it, too many different projects, and personally for me, I'm still a little iffy. I don't think it's going to absolutely blow up. I think everything we've talked about is going to take precedent over it, but decentralized science, also known as DeSci, is definitely something that you're going to see on your radar. DeSci is all about leveraging blockchain technology like tokens, NFTs, or decentralized autonomous organizations to use that technology to promote open community-driven research. I mean, you could take a look at this tweet that CZ, the prior CEO of Binance, came out with discussing his small gathering of DeSci entrepreneurs. What's even cooler is that you also have Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, right behind him. Now, look, I'm not overly bullish on DeSci, but I at least wanted to give you guys a heads up on this narrative on what we could see form next. All right, the next upcoming narrative, RWAs. This is going to be huge just because regulation is getting better within the crypto market. And one thing that I haven't seen many people talk about is actually Coinbase's secret project called Project Diamond. Look, one of the biggest issues that we're going to have within crypto moving forward is still interoperability. Interoperability is just the fact that other layers, other cryptos can't communicate with one another. Chainlink is a project that's been around for a very long time. All right, we've had some people make millions of dollars in 2021 with Chainlink, and this is pretty much what it sounds like. Chainlink bridges the gap. It links together all these different cryptocurrencies, and it allows for interoperability to become a main driver. So Chainlink's cross-chain interoperability protocol is going to allow for new assets on Coinbase's Project Diamond platform. Project Diamond is being developed by Coinbase Asset Management. This use case is registered for institutional users outside of the US. I think there's going to be some big money flowing in. I'd keep an eye out for something like this. This is how I was able to find something like the base narrative early on. I think an easy diversified exposure play would be Chainlink this season. Now, I think Chainlink and other RWA plays are going to have their place within this cycle, but if you are looking for the most outsized gains, I'd look into some of those lower market cap projects like I mentioned. All right, now remember everyone, I say this in every video, I gotta say it here again, the market is heating up. A lot of you guys have made a ton of money already, and my goal here is to help you guys keep it. Crypto is extremely risky, okay? If you're already up, make sure you are constantly taking profits on your way up. Do not get overly greedy, as greed has even gotten me in the last few weeks, and just know that every project that I've mentioned here always has the possibility of going down to zero. I mean, I doubt something like Chainlink or Ethereum or Bitcoin would go down to zero, but I just say this for the fact that you guys are always prepared for the absolute worst case black swan event scenario that could play out. Now, ladies and gents, I mean, that is going to be the main parts of this video here. The market is heating up so much. There's going to be a point though, you need to start being more careful. Right now, I think it's a time where you can still exercise a bit more aggression in the market. We have a confirmed uptrend at the time of me filming this video, but you could always just keep things real easy, right? When the market is overly greedy, that's when you start selling a bit. When the market is extremely fearful, you buy up. And if you did that over the last few days and bought up the big dip where Bitcoin had gone down from $95,000 and people thought it was going to go down to $88,000, you would be up significantly in the green. All right, folks, so that is going to be the video here for today. If you guys found any value at all, be sure to check out some of the links down below in the description. We have Coinbase that you guys can sign up for. We also have Moonshot where you can pick up meme coins off Solana with accessibility. And on top of that, if you guys want to join Kaizen, my private membership group, you have the link for that down below. We are currently on a wait list. We had over 800 people on the wait list about a week ago. So I think it's at over 1,000 people. It will take you about a week to get in if you do apply now. So we're going through it as fast as we can. But if you want to have a chance of being able to get more access to me, get access to some of our goated analysts, all right, world-class people that are helping us make money throughout this market and keep those gains, you want to take a look at Kaizen. We had a ton of you guys who recently joined, and if you are part of the Kaizen fam, definitely comment down below, show your love. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in leverage trading, which is not for everyone, by the way, highly risky, you want to make sure you practice and exercise as much caution as possible. I do have links for that down below with Bybit if you're outside the US, and then with Blowfin if you are in the US. Look, with leverage trading, it's how I was able to turn $3,000 to, at its peak, $600,000. But because I didn't manage my risk properly, I mean, that dropped as low as even $80,000 at one point. I've gone most of my career thinking that leverage trading was completely degen, it was irresponsible and very risky. But as I've done it, yes, that can be true if you don't practice good risk management and safety protocols. But if you are a good investor, meaning you have good emotional management, you have a strategy, you can use that in an uptrending market like this bull run we're in to make enormous amounts of money. All right, guys, so that's going to be the video here for today. Follow me on Instagram and on X. I've been tweeting way more, and on there, you're going to get a lot more alpha quicker from me. So be sure to check me out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.